We all know Keir Starmer has completely lost the plot, but now we're seeing a major divide within Europe as leaders push back hard against his latest outrageous proposal. His idea of sending British troops into Ukraine as part of a so-called peacekeeping mission has been met with strong opposition, and some of the biggest players in Europe aren't holding back in their response. In today's video, we're breaking down the latest developments, looking at why Starmer's plan has been widely rejected, and what this growing divide in Europe means for the future. Before we get started, make sure to hit that like button. It helps more people see this important information. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and join our fast-growing community. Now let's get into it. Just a quick one to say we do have new One Keir t-shirts available on our website. Go to BritishStand.com or check the link in the description. Germany has firmly rejected UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer's proposal to deploy British troops to Ukraine as part of a peacekeeping mission, a move that has now sparked tensions among European leaders. Starmer had outlined his vision for Britain to take a leading role in post-war security guarantees for Ukraine, emphasising that this would require putting British troops in harm's way to help enforce a potential ceasefire. However, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz has slammed the idea, calling it completely premature and highly inappropriate. Speaking after a meeting of European leaders in Paris, Scholz admitted that he was a little irritated by the suggestion, highlighting major disagreements over Europe's future military involvement in Ukraine. Divisions emerge in Europe. Scholz's strong response came as it became clear that European nations are deeply divided over the role they should play in securing Ukraine's future. At the Paris summit, Britain, France, and Sweden expressed support for deploying a peacekeeping force to help monitor and enforce a ceasefire. However, Germany, Poland, and Spain have shown significant reluctance, arguing that such a move is premature and could further escalate tensions. The disagreements were so intense that Scholz left the meeting early, further underlining the deep rifts within Europe over the future of Ukraine's security. Scholz rejects the proposal. During a press conference, Scholz made his position clear, stating, "It is completely premature and the completely wrong time to be having this discussion now. I am even a little irritated by these debates." He explained that discussions about troop deployments were being conducted over the heads of Ukrainians, referring to the fact that peace talks have not even started yet. Scholz went further, stating, "This is highly inappropriate, to put it bluntly and honestly. We don't even know what the outcome will be." This statement highlights Germany's cautious stance. The belief that discussing peacekeeping troops before a ceasefire is even reached is not only premature but could also complicate diplomatic efforts. Why is Germany opposed? Germany has long been hesitant about sending troops to Ukraine, fearing that any deployment of NATO forces could be misinterpreted by Russia as a direct escalation of the conflict. Scholz has repeatedly warned against actions that could risk turning the war into a NATO-Russia confrontation. Furthermore, Germany has argued that security discussions must involve Ukraine directly, and that imposing a peacekeeping force before negotiations take place would be counterproductive. With Britain and France pushing for stronger security guarantees for Ukraine, and Germany and other European nations resisting, this division within Europe is becoming more apparent. The larger debate over a European army has also been reignited, something that Scholz openly disagreed with during the summit. His early departure from the meeting signals growing frustration over the lack of unity on this issue. Moving forward, it remains to be seen whether Starmer will adjust his approach in response to Germany's opposition, or if he will continue to push for a British-led peacekeeping role in Ukraine. This latest development exposes a deep divide in Europe over how to handle Ukraine's future. While some nations want to take immediate action, others are urging caution, fearing that premature moves could do more harm than good. For now, Germany remains firm. They will not support a peacekeeping deployment until peace talks actually begin, and Ukraine itself is involved in the decision-making process. What do you think? Should Britain go ahead with Starmer's plan, even without Germany's backing? Or is Scholz right to urge patience before discussing peacekeeping troops? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Labour will extend the use of migrant hotels for 4 years, despite ministers previously pledging to end the scheme as soon as possible. Sir Matthew Rycroft, the Home Office's top civil servant, has said that the government aims to exit asylum hotels by 2029, which is the end of the Parliament. He told the Commons Home Affairs Committee that the journey is off to a good start, with the number of hotels down from over 400 to 218. Rycroft said the government has turned away from larger sites, such as the Bibi Stockholm barge and ex-military bases, and was now using smaller sites, some bought by the Home Office, whilst others were privately rented properties. He said that whilst the figure will continue to decrease, it could be prone to fluctuation as it is a statutory obligation to provide that accommodation, and sometimes hotels are the only possible way of doing that. His comments stand in stark comparison to Labour's pre-election pledge to end the use of all migrant hotels within 12 months of coming to power. The government said they would do this by recruiting 1,000 caseworkers to tackle the backlog of applications. Whilst Labour has stepped up in its efforts to clear the backlog, with 10,000 applications being processed every month, the figures are being levelled out with the 25,000 illegal migrants that have crossed the border since Starmer came to power. In its official manifesto, the party did not set out a timescale to axe the hotels. However, it did say it would stop the use of migrant accommodation, which would save the taxpayer billions of pounds. After Sir Keir Starmer entered number 10, the party has since said that ending the use of migrant accommodation will take time, though it will endeavour to stop their use as soon as possible. Last month, Dame Angela Eagle, the Border Security Minister, said that there had been a net rise of 6 hotels. However, she said that 9 were scheduled to close by the end of March. Under the Tories, hundreds of millions of pounds was being spent on mass accommodation sites, such as the Bibby Stockholm barge, which was moored in Portland, Dorset. However, a report from the financial watchdog National Audit Office, NAO, found that the now decanted barge did not represent a good value for money. Still in use is the large former RAF base at Wethersfield in Essex, which currently houses around 540 migrants. Concerns about spiralling costs mean Whitehall officials have now been looking into replacing the costly military bases and hotels with disused care homes and empty student flats. A Home Office spokesman said in December, "We have inherited enormous pressures in the asylum system and remain absolutely committed to ending the use of hotels to ensure value for money. We have identified a range of sites that we are narrowing down to a handful of suitable properties that will enable us to exit hotels sooner." The government is considering using care homes and student flats as part of a plan to slash the £5.5 million bill to house migrants in hotel accommodation. Lastly, Meghan Markle has announced a new partnership with Netflix just 2 weeks before her lifestyle series is set to be released on the streaming platform. The Duchess of Sussex has unveiled her new brand As Ever as the successor to American Riviera Orchard. The announcement video posted on Instagram and filmed in the Sussex's Montecito garden includes a brief appearance from Prince Harry, who can be heard saying it's recording as he hands Meghan the phone. Meghan's Netflix series, which is titled With Love, Meghan was originally scheduled to be released in January but is now set to drop on March 4th. The Duchess of Sussex will now partner with the streaming service to release some of her lifestyle products in Netflix stores. Meghan said, "In 2 weeks my show's coming out, which I'm so excited for. And also my business, which I think there has been a lot of curiosity about," she shared in the announcement. Then Netflix came on, not just as my partner in the show, but as my partner in my business, which was huge, the Duchess revealed. What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you've not yet already, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Thank you, take care, goodbye.